Welcome to my top 10 favorite Super NES games. SimCity. Now, I already did an upload on this game, but I used the game Genie, and I've learned from AVGN that there's actually a code you can use if you don't have the game Genie, so I'm going to try that. This is the worst part of the game, is selecting a map, because I mean, I imagine most people just probably go with the very first map, or pick a random number. Dude, like, try number 550. Now, this game I really don't remember renting so much as a kid. I'll go with that one. But I do remember a little bit later in my life, in my maybe early 20s, late teens to early 20s, say maybe around 20 years old, I bought the game. Just name it. No, I can't actually even think of a good name to name it. Oh. I want to clear the whole thing. I was going to name it Fartville, but there wouldn't be enough letters, so Fart Town will work. Might as well go with easy, because the only difference between easy, medium, hard is the amount of money you get. Okay, now, there is a way to get max out your money, but you gotta wait till like tax time. I don't think I'm gonna do a full playthrough like I did last time. Probably just play up to a certain point, but I don't know, I might change my mind if I really start getting into it. I want to start out normally with a power plant somewhere. And I didn't realize I put it that close on the map. Start down here with some residential areas. See, they give you these tips like more commercial zones needed. Well, I'm just starting, so of course there's more commercial zones needed, there's industrial zones needed. See, this all uses up money. If you watch my original upload, what I did was, using the game Genie, we didn't see any of the money decreasing the way we see it now. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and build some train tracks right here too. This is the way I always do it. If you watch my last video, you see me doing the same thing. I build two sets of roads and train tracks in the middle. That way it pretty much covers everything. But anyways, as I was saying, I remember buying this game sometime in my late teens or early 20s, and in 2002 I was dating this girl who lived 3 hours away, and we ended up having a kid together, so I moved in with her, and this is one game I remember playing all the time while I was living with her. I guess actually I didn't play it all the time, but it was the only Super Nintendo game I remember playing down there. At the time I took my Super Nintendo, and my Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 we had hooked up downstairs, and that's because she liked playing Mario Kart 64. But as for my Super Nintendo, she didn't like playing those games, so I wasn't allowed to have that TV downstairs. I had to have that up in the bedroom. So I'm going to put all these power lines going up to these, just to get power going to them. And you can build right on top of these power lines. See, once I connect it to this residential area, it'll travel through all the other residential areas touching it. These power lines going to the commercial areas. Now all these commercial areas have power going to them. Now it kind of looks like glitches right there that just popped up, but it's actually their building. So you can build right on top of power lines and just replaces it. I'm going to end up running out of money real soon. Not using the game Genie. Now for industrial areas. Oh, see my airport just turned gray? It's because my money dropped below 10,000, so I can't afford an airport. This was the problem with playing this game before having the game Genie, is that you get up to a certain point, you run out of money. The only thing you could do is go to, let's see, tax. You can lower this. And you can raise your taxes, and you get more money at the end of the year. But the amount is so small that you can only buy like a couple small items, and then you gotta wait again, so that's why I ended up getting the game Genie. Build a road going down this way. Now I have a little bridge. Congratulations, your village has become a town. Placing residential zones, industrial zones, and commercial zones and balancing numbers will help your city to grow. Or would you like to build your own house? Do you want to live near the residents or of your city, or do you want to build your house in a secluded area away from the congestion? Remember, another election is just around the corner. So now, down this question mark, you get a special present, which is your house. And I think I just put a regular commercial zone. Put a police department next to my house so no one breaks in. Yeah, they start complaining. That's another problem with this game, is they complain about the police departments, like the crime is too high. So they said they're building all these police departments, and it's like, how many police departments do these towns really need? Build an amusement park or a casino, so why don't you build an amusement park or a casino for your city? The amusement park will attract people to the nearby zones, while the casino will bring more money to the city. Which do you prefer? I go with the casino. give you that option many times, so you can pick, like, even if you pick the casino, you can stick the option again where you can pick an amusement park the second time. Usually put little breaks in the street so traffic can cut through. Another thing that was pointed out in the AVGN episode I watched of this is it's supposed to start in 1900. Yet they've got airports, they've got nuclear power plants. I mean, that stuff didn't exist in 1900. But I guess a lot of games on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, aren't necessarily accurate as real life. Running out of money, but see, it's December on the map. You look up in the top left-hand corner, 1900 December. It's going to be going to tax time. Okay, here's what you do. Once it goes to tax time, let's see if this works. I've never done this before. I just wanted to try this. Okay. Hold the L button down. Keep it pressed. Now, leave while holding the L button. Okay, stick out the L button pressed. Go back to the text screen. Raise everything up to 100%. Leave the text screen. Release L. And it didn't work, so I wonder if you could do it without waiting for tax time to come. The only way I know how to exit this screen is to click go with figures. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but see, for some reason it didn't work with me. Anyways, if you watch AVGN's episode, it worked for him. I'm not sure if I did something different than he did, but obviously I must have, since it didn't work for me. So we're really not going to see a whole lot of the game. Just once I run out of money, that'll be the end of it. Maybe I'll try it again. First I want to try these. I don't know if these are supposed to be down beforehand or not. Okay, see, now the B button's the only thing that works in here. Well, in the directional buttons. LRB or LRYXA select start. It doesn't leave, so it looks like the only way you can leave the screen is to click go with the figures. Just will not work for me. Anyway, it would have been nice if I could have shown that, but I just used the full playthrough, so you can watch that if you want to see exactly how far the game can go. start buying all of like the stadiums and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we will not be getting to that point since I'm going to be running out of money. Whoops, I didn't want to go there. Yeah, this stuff uses up a lot of money, adds up real quick. Already seen that. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough train track. I don't think I'm gonna be able to afford enough train track. You know, not of money. All I can afford right now are parks, $10. Bulldozers is $1. Power line $5. Roads $10. So see, this was the problem with playing the game back in the old days without having cheat codes. It's May 1901, and at this point, all I could do is just sit and wait for the end of the year to come. I mean, we're less than 20 minutes through the video, and we're out of money already. I guess I could give some power to these houses. That puts me down to $2. Can't even give power to that guy. Commercial zone. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait till the end of this year thing is up. Try the L and R button. I'm almost positive they said the L button, but when I was watching the video, it looked like he's pressed the R button down. I guess it was in the actual Nintendo Power magazines, which I wish I would have bought those when I was a kid because they had a lot of tips and tricks in them back then. Nowadays you can find them online, but there's actually only one I ever owned, and that was when it had Donkey Kong Country on the front of it. And I'm not sure exactly why I bought that particular edition. There must have been a game in there that I needed a tip for. And you can sit there and watch this little train drive around. Unfortunately, the poor guy can't make a full circle around the block. When he gets a dead end, it just turns around and goes back the other way. And we can look at the other stuff though. Voice. Is Mayor doing a good job? 72% say yeah, 28% say no, worst problems. Housing cost, unemployment, taxes, and crime. I really can't control the housing cost. I imagine it depends on where you build areas, like where there's pollution, like industrial zones are going to create pollution, so I imagine that's probably like these industrial areas right here. These cause pollution, so I imagine if I build housing around there, it's going to be cheaper. Get further away from the pollution, it's probably going to be more expensive. Put an amusement park or a casino in the area, that's probably going to raise the value of the land, making the houses more expensive. That's the pretty much the only control you have over housing costs. As far as crime, you can put police stations everywhere, and you're still going to crime rate's still going to be high. Okay, I'm going to put these down to 0. Maybe that had something to do with it. I'm not sure how low he had his. ABGN, watching James and Mike. Come all the way down and I'll try it again. See how much money it goes up to, even if it doesn't max out. See how much money it goes up. Okay, here we go. I'll hold the L. I don't know if I should try the L and R button because that might... I'll just try the L button because that's what he said in the video. Oh, for some reason... Okay, how come the... I can't raise those up to... That's all the higher they'll raise. Okay, now I can raise them. Still holding the L button down. There we go. I let go of the L button. I really don't know what I did different this time that I didn't do the last time, but I held the L button down the whole time. Right when the tax screen popped up after December, I held the L button down. Pretty much, I didn't release it until I just mentioned. So I don't know what I did differently, but now we can continue on. I got $999,999. And I imagine you could do that as many times as you want. That's pretty cool. I'm glad I got to do it while I'm recording it. I just wish I had Saturdays off. Normally I work Monday through Friday, but oh, City Command's a fire department. Yeah, I guess it'd probably help if we had one of them. Congratulations, your town has become a city. Solve any transportation dilemmas and reduce the crime rate to keep your citizens happy and the city growing. The music changes too every time it changes from like a town to a city to a village, town, city, and all that good stuff. Okay, more industrial zones. Let's put them up here. Sure where I want to put these. Okay, see, this gets really old. We see that all the time. Press the select button and it jumps back to this thing. Your little item selection area. If you press the start button, it goes to the top menu. Okay, somehow I gotta connect these railroad tracks down here with up there. But if I go up, okay, I'll run right alongside of it. Actually, right now. Trains can travel up to these industrial areas, and they can stop to visit the power plant in case, I don't know, they want to go on a tour or something, or something like that. Of course, yeah, I guess they got workers at the power plant that might need to get to work. Oops, that was a fail. Oh well. And there he's going up that way to the power plant. A bunch of tourists want to check out all the new industrial zones up here, which don't have power yet. So I really don't plan on playing this like... Oh, that was nasty. I don't plan on playing this like all the way through like I did. I'm pretty sure I played all the way through in the last video. Yeah, that's kind of funny that it, like this train goes underwater. I mean, it disappears, and then when it gets to the other side, it comes back up as like a submarine, subway type deal. A train that turns into a submarine. Where is it? Is it underwater again? See, and the train won't turn around until it hits a dead end, so it's just going to keep on going all the way around this area. Yeah, so I'm going to build it all the way over this way so it can connect. I'll build some commercial zones and stuff up here. No, I'll build industrial zones up this far. I need some power going to them. It's just temporary power until I get some more zones put up. Better build this track before the train comes and has to turn back around. Most tourists probably would prefer to see all this land. Oh, got a train going right into the building. See, I imagine you could probably use that cheat code over and over again every tax time. I just wish I knew exactly what I did the second time that I didn't do the first time. Maybe I didn't have the button pressed in all the way throughout the whole time and might have let go a little bit or something. But I do know what is the L button now because I didn't press the R button at all. I was doing that thing. Yeah, see, if you just use the directional button to move to the right, it's real slow because you're moving the actual cursor right there. If you want to move the whole screen, hold the A button down, and then you can move back and forth like this. Otherwise, just move the little cursor type deal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is probably out of my top 10 favorite games, the least action game. I mean, it's not really exciting. It's nothing that's going to put you on the edge of your seat. But there's something about it that's fun. Look at all the residential areas are all filling up. Go ahead and put up these goodies. We got the casino. Amusement park. This casino will stick somewhere else because I've already got a casino down there. We'll put it down in this area. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a street cutting up this way. The railroad tracks cutting down that way. Let's check out where that train's at now. There it comes. It's ready to plunge through the water. Look at these industrial zones. Nobody is building on them. Fools. These don't have power yet. I want to put a street right here. Cool. Yeah, look at the street jumps up as a bridge. Even though there's no boats in the water or anything. Eventually you get to the part where you start building seaports and airports, and I mean, I could do that now if I want. Actually, I might be doing it pretty soon. I usually like to wait so we can actually see and let's say like okay, let's try this again. Hold the L button down. Go with figures. Let's go to tax. Now it's already up at 100%, so we don't have to do anything. Go with figures. Press X, let go of L. Didn't work that time. But that time I didn't raise stuff up to 100. Keep doing that. You know what? I think we're going to be ending the video here pretty soon. I really don't feel like doing a full video like I did last time. I've already done a full video on it. There's really nothing I can show this time other than that code that I already showed. There's nothing else to really show this time that I didn't show last time. I'm just gonna go ahead and put up some fun stuff before I leave the city. Throw up a stadium. Right here. Let's get a domed one too, so you can't pick. Usually the first stadium's always an open stadium. So far, that every time I've built a stadium, it's always been open. The second one is random. You don't know if it's going to be open or domed. That one's open, so let's keep trying. Maybe I'll get a dome. Usually, if the second one's not a dome stadium, the third one should be. Okay, that's like 3 open stadiums. So, we're gonna have quite a few football and baseball teams here. We need like something for basketball and hockey. There we go. I could have actually torn those other ones down and rebuilt over. Keep trying for it. Like a hockey stadium or basketball, whatever you want to call it. Indoor stadium, we'll call it. Okay, let's throw up like a seaport. Put a road so these guys can get to work at the seaport. Need some power too. airport. These things are pretty huge, take up a lot of area. I'll put it next to one of the stadiums here. Why don't you build an expo so that the citizens can see all the technical advances we've made? I'm sure that some of this new technology will help to develop the surrounding industrial zones as well. Okay, let's see, 1903, the technical advances they made at that time. They may have perfected the wheel. Look at that, we got an airplane in 1903. The Wright brothers going to be unhappy when they find out that they weren't the ones that developed flight. Someone else did in 1903. I think they were like in the 1911 or 1912 area. I'm not sure though. Might have even been later than that. Power plant. And you know, something that Mike pointed out in the ABGN episode. I mean, first of all, they didn't even have nuclear power plants back in 1903, but would you want to live anywhere near or even in a city that's got a nuclear power plant that only costs $5,000? I mean, the car one car cost me $12,000 used. Most recent, the truck I just recently bought was only $1,600, but my Firebird I bought back in 2001 was $12,000 used. I mean, imagine a power plant costing less than a car, even though I guess back in them days pricing was a little different. I mean, $10 for road, $1 for the bulldoze in the area. Okay, I think that's about all I'm going to do. Well, these industrial areas are making progress. I guess these are starting to. Let's go ahead and check. Okay, let's see the voice. Oh, I went down to 52%. Of course, I'm not building quite as much as I normally do. Normally, I'm constantly going along and putting stuff up. The main thing I wanted to do in this video is try that cheat code that I was able to do. You can talk to this guy anytime. Usually, he gives you advice on something that's wrong, but now he's just saying, good job. Friend City is growing nicely. I don't see any problems at the moment, so let's keep up the good work. But anyway, zoo. The children of the city need some form of entertainment. How about building a zoo so they can learn all about animals? The income from the zoo will be added as a special income. Okay, now I think when I get to 20,000, no, it must be 25,000. It turns from a town to a city. We'll get up to that point and then go ahead and stop there. Oh, I forgot about the expo. Put that next to the nuclear power plant, the $5,000 power plant. So anyone visiting the expo will be next to a power plant that only costs $5,000. They run the risk of becoming mutated by the time they'll leave that expo. You know, they'll probably walk out of the expo twitching and stuff, and when they go to bed at night, they'll glow in the dark. Okay, so we got one police department in a town of 20,000 people, yet the crime is still very high. I mean, there are cities with like hundreds of thousands of people with only one police department. So build a police department there. out some of the other things in here. Okay, what is it? The graph? No, it's, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, crime. Oh no, it's not the graph. It's the map, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's where crime is the worst. Red areas are... Okay, so there's a lot of crime up here. Okay, now, industrial zones. Usually crime happens in, like, the rundown neighborhoods, low-income neighborhoods, but industrial zones... I mean, we have an industrial zone here, and the only people out there are people who work full-time, hard workers. Why would there be crime way out in this area when there's no one that lives out here? When you get, like, gangs that go all the way... I mean, most... gangs probably don't own cars in a town this small. You know, is crime really that big of a deal? Maybe they got shootouts or something back in the 1900s, like where you walk out of the saloon, but I don't have any commercial areas in this area, or any commercial zones. A lot of crime down here, even though there's a police station at one end of the block, one at the other end of the block. You know, since we're almost to December, I'll have a chance to try that thing again one more time. Actually, first I'm gonna do this again. Lower the funds. Back down to 0. Try it once again after December, and after that we'll go ahead and quit because we're over 40 minutes into this game, and I mean this game you can play forever until you pretty much you fill up the entire map. Most of those sim games are like that though, they're open-ended, you can just keep on playing and playing. You know, I would like to sometime play my original Sims games like on the PS2 and just see how long I can go playing, but I don't know, just to a certain point where it's like you've done everything and it's just not fun anymore to keep doing it over and over again. After I finish my top 10 favorite Super NES games, I've got a bunch of Nintendo games, original Nintendo, to do that we haven't seen yet. Okay, hold the L button down, raise all this stuff back up. Figures. Okay, now still holding the L button down. Go back to tax. Get all those raised up. I'll go ahead and okay, I guess go back here, let go of the L. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to let go of the L button right now. Nothing. Maybe it only happens once per game. Maybe I can't do it anymore, or maybe I'm just screwed up again, but anyway, we got to see it at least once, so hope you enjoyed the game. Now what I'm going to do is, one problem I notice, every time I save my game in here, the next time I play it's not saved. I imagine it might be a problem with my game. It might also have been a problem with the game Genie that I used. See, this is where to save. One of these should have game saved in here because I always save my game when I'm done. It's still in there now, but if I come back to it later, it probably won't be. So that was my 6th favorite Super NES game, SimCity. Hope you enjoyed it. We got 5 more games to go. And most of those games are probably going to take about an hour. Actually, we got 6 more games to go because my third favorite game that I got on my list, there's actually 2 of them tied for third. So I'm going to try putting both of those in one video. I'm not going to reveal what they are yet because these are all surprise, but I'm going to try sticking those 2 games into one video. Hopefully it'll work that way, but hope you're enjoying Top 10, and I'll see you in the next video.